Good morning, esteemed classmates, faculty and staff, and delegates. My name is J Andrade, and I have the honor and the pleasure to serve as the first Mr. ASU International for Albany State University under the Office of International Education. Today, I have the esteemed pleasure to talk to you about my personal experience here in the United States as an international student, an undocumented student, a DACA recipient, and now a U.S. resident. So a little bit about myself. My name is J Andrade Herrera. I was born in Mexico. I am I'm a Mexican national, so I have Mexican citizenship. I was born in 1997, so I'm a little bit older than most people in the traditional sense of college students, just a little bit. I came here in 2007, right around the time that I was 10 years old, and I came right in before the closing of the DACA stipulations that were in place back then for students who came into the country. I think, if I remember correctly, I came into the United States like 14 days before the cutoff date for DACA. So I was very fortunate to get here, and let me see, I can't really see this. Okay, so, goodness. So, as you can see, I have a little map there for where I'm from. I'm from a small village of about 150 people, and it's a 24-hour drive from Albany State University to my hometown. And I've done that drive with my family like 8 times now. It's a long process, but I love going back home. I love being back in my culture. That's where I'm from. Those are my roots, and I really enjoy it there. So, as I mentioned before, I was a DACA recipient. So that means that I was able to attend Albany State University under my DACA recipiency in 2014. So I was here at Albany State in 2014. However, due to circumstances that are out of my control, there was a lot of legal precedents happening in the state of Georgia as far as what undocumented students were, what documented students were, and what DACA was for this state. Currently, for those people that hold DACA designations, they're unable to attend the University of Georgia as well as Georgia Tech, and they do have to apply as international students in this country. So, after the courts went through a lot of legal terminologies and battles, I was unable to return back on campus after that, and a lot of my classes got dropped that semester. So, as a senior with a 3.92 GPA, my GPA dropped dramatically because of my classes being dropped to a 3.4. And instead of graduating salutatorian of my high school, my ranking dropped to, I think it was like 30 out of 180 students. And it was a very hard blow for me because I've always dreamed of getting an education. I always dreamed of being in college. And no longer having those opportunities being afforded to me within the state of Georgia definitely made me feel really, really bad at the time. But I'm here now. I obtained my residency in July of 2018. And immediately after that, I applied to Albany State University. And here I am today, about to graduate in the spring of 2023 with a bachelor's in chemistry and a minor in biology. So today, the topic that I would like to talk about was what culture means to me. As an immigrant when I was 10 years old, I didn't really get to experience a lot of the life in my country. I forgot how to write in Spanish, and the only thing I can do now is speak it and understand it and read it. But if you ask me to write in Spanish, it's really hard for me. So, culture means to me a sense of uniqueness, a sense of pride in who you are, a sense of understanding your background, and a sense of knowing who you are through your culture. Regardless of where we're from, there is still a lot of cultural differences that we hold unique even within our own countries. You can't think of two people or two regions exactly the same, and cultures extremely unique regardless of how closely related they are. So I know here in the States we have a Southern pride. We also have like how Northern people talk Midwestern culture, as well as like the Western culture of California. The same thing is evident all throughout the world in a lot of different countries. And that to me is a sense of uniqueness. So our culture is what makes us exceptionally unique. And if we don't have culture to depend on, we lose that sense of uniqueness and part of our unique fingerprint that makes us who we are. So I'm not sure if you saw on the previous slide, but when I became the first Mr. ASU International, I had to come up with a quote that I felt would represent my reign as the king during the time. So the thing that I came up with was pride through culture, success through diversity as part of my quotes. And I derived them from a lot of different quotes that I've learned about diversity, about inclusion, about differences. And so the main one that I like to use is this one quote by, I can't remember the author's name, Marcus Garvey, a civil rights activist here in the United States. And I'm going to let you guys read it, but if you understand what this says, it says that, or in shortest terms, it means that if you don't root yourself within your culture, you don't have anything to stand on. That to me always meant to be proud of my differences, to be proud of my heritage, and to be proud of where I come from, regardless of what people say. It's been hard being in this country, being isolated from the family that I love and care, from my friends that I had back home. But nevertheless, thanks to the culture that I have, through the unique sense of being the pride in being Mexican, and being from a small place where nobody knows, and being the first one to complete college in my family, has made me a great sense of pride. And it has gotten me through the weathering storms that I faced through my educational career and in life. I have no doubt that if it wasn't for my culture, my friends and family, I would not be here today, standing in front of you. So that to me is what pride is, what culture should mean. So a lot of us were, for lack of a better sense, taken away from where we were originally from. We were enslaved, some of us. A lot of us were colonized by other countries. And they tried to take our uniqueness, our culture, who we were. They destroyed buildings. They killed thousands and hundreds of people in the name of religion, in the name of colonization. However, we are a resilient people. It is that because of the fact that they enslaved us, colonized us, that we're able to still be here today, even more prideful than ever in who we are and what we stand for. One thing that a lot of people forget is that once we lose our culture and the pride of where we're from, we tend to lose our identities as well. So the second part of my quote was success through diversity. And so to me, what that means is that globalization is inevitable. We're living in the 21st century where technology now more than ever is a driving force behind all of the things that we do. It used to be very hard to communicate with families back home, but now we have a lot of different apps, a lot of different methodologies, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's making video calls through your iPhone, as to how you can get in contact with people back home. And we're no longer divided by a lot of the international borders that used to divide us. Transportation is now easier than ever. We're able to fly, we're able to drive, and we're also able to get on ships and cruises and visit different cultures throughout the world. Which is why it's so important to remember who we are and remember where we come from, and how our sense of uniqueness should also drive what we stand for in this new globalized world. Another thing that I believe in is the fact that we should open up those spaces wherever we are for those people that cannot attend or be within those spaces. Academia is one of those spaces. As people of color, there is only 1% of PhDs that are awarded to African American people, and even 1% of PhDs are awarded to Latino and Hispanic people of heritage. And even a smaller of those fractions are awarded to people in STEM and other diverse fields. So it is up to us, it's up to our generation to actually open up those spaces through our clothing, through our mannerisms, through who we are, and not allowing the capitalistic sense of things impact who we are, and allow us to open up those spaces for those that are unable to be in them. I'm not going to talk much any longer. I just want to leave you guys with this quote. Is be the change that you would like to see. And with that I mean, be prideful in who you are, take ownership for your success, and most importantly, love each other and love your cultures. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Atiti Devo Bhava. The most famous saying means guests are like God, and it's the spirit of the Indian tradition and culture when they welcome their guest. I came here 2020 January 1st, like the New Year. And trust me, I had no idea what America is. Trust me, I didn't know how people are and how many cultures were in this country. I'm from India with no idea of what it is. When I came here the first day, it was so difficult because people were different. Because I am different. We are different with their unique features. The first day, I was in Reinhardt University, and I didn't know what to do. I was talking to different people, but I realized that I am different from other people. We are different. We love each other. So it was a great experience. And after that, when I transferred to Albany State University, I thank all of you who are present here for accepting the way I am, for accepting who I am, and accepting the way I am from. You guys give me the way I am. Thank you, Dr. Chi, for making me the president of Cultural Exchange Club. It has given me an opportunity to present people like what culture is. Today, I am so proud of my country, that what my country gave to me. Being an international student, my country has always been a great place. Whenever I go back to India in summer, I feel so happy because that's my motherland. So thank you all, and have a great rest of your day. And by the way, happy International Education Week.
Okay. Hi, I'm Bianca. I'm from Brazil. I'm an international student, also a student athlete. I play for the tennis team, and I love being part of the Culture Exchange Club. It showed me like a lot of different cultures that I didn't know about, and I think part of being like an international student is, wanting to know more about other cultures. Being from like a different country is really good. I feel like everyone should like try to learn more about different cultures. I don't know, being in the HBCU is very different from other schools, I would say, from experience, because I transferred from another school. And here we'll see like more diversity, people try to include you more, and it's really nice. It's hard being away from your family. It's hard being alone in a country that you don't know anyone and you don't know a lot about their culture, but it's a very good experience, and I feel like everyone should like go to a different country once in their lives and try to learn more about other cultures. It's not easy to manage that. To me, I would say it's not as bad because it's like a 2-hour difference, maybe 1 hour sometimes. But nowadays it's really easy because of the phone. Like we can just FaceTime each other and we'll see each other. But for some people, I know there's like 6-hour differences, and my roommate stays up late at like 3 a.m. talking to her family. Sometimes we'll go out and we come back and she's FaceTiming her mom, and her mom's just waking up. It's not easy, but I think it's worth the sacrifice.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Zunaira Naeem and I am from Pakistan, but I'm not an international student. But I have my family here, but I don't have my mother here. And leaving, I came to US in 2022. It was hard for me to come here, except like everything here, everything was changed culturally and religiously, everything was different. So it was difficult for me to, in the start, to accept people, to make new friends, and especially the time difference, which is about 11 hours, 12 hours. So talking back home was difficult, making, like telling everyone, so this is the difference, and making sure that they know the difference is what and how can we manage on like calls and pictures and all that stuff. So it was emotionally difficult and difficult as well in other states. But now, after 2 years, it's like, okay, so I hope you all have a good International Education Week. So have fun. Thank you.
Sorry, y'all. I saw two of my teammates jump on. I had to talk too. So, culture has definitely been really important to me. I feel like it has shaped the way I think. Shapes the way I think about people. As well as Christian, I come from a very small place that's like really far. It's in the Pacific part of the world. The island is called Saipan. It's part of the Northern Mariana Islands, and it is part of the U.S. territories that are a part of the United States. So, me and my dad and my family, my sister, like, we kind of just grew up being the only black people, like in school, like everywhere we went. And, you know, it was always cool and all. And I always felt like I was a part of every culture because I grew up around people that were from Korea, from China, from Japan, like a part of everything. It was such a big mixture, like. And unfortunately, I had to move to the U.S. at 2016. And coming here, it was very odd to meet people that don't really know a lot about other cultures. And it's like, oh, like, how do you not know about this? How do you not know about this? How do you not? And they're like, they just don't see a lot of people with different cultures where they come from. And I'm just very grateful. You know, I have that knowledge, that little bit of knowledge of every bit of culture, so that when I meet different people, I kind of know a little bit about what they eat, what religion they believe in, how their mannerisms are. I don't know, I'm just very grateful for it. And being here in Albany State, like coming to an HBCU, I am very grateful to come to an HBCU because I did not grow up around any black people at all, any Hispanic people, anything different. I only grew up around Asian people, Asian culture, and like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just coming here kind of broadened what I would see more on the other side of the world too. Because I grew up with knowing cultures and religions of the other side of the world. When I was there, I didn't know about like countries here. Like I had a friend introduce me, like, well, one of my good friends, she's from Guyana. Like I remember in high school, someone told me they're from Guyana. I was like, what's that? And then I told them where I was from. They were like, what's that? And you kind of just have to educate people. So it is really a good learning experience when you meet different people from everywhere. Okay, thank you.
All right. So thank you all so much for opening up International Education Week, and I really appreciate each and every one of you who got up here and spoke today. Just having the willingness to share your experiences, share something about you that's very unique to you. This is what International Education Week is all about. This is what culture is all about. This is what diversity is all about. When we hear the word globalization all the time, this is what it's supposed to be about. Being willing to the idea of the differences in us and being accepting of who we are, and also having the willingness to accept others for who they are. And what we have to begin to realize is being different and being unique is really what makes us what? All alike. And so always keep that in mind, and always be willing to open up to different, open up to others, open up to being different, and sharing your differences as well as receiving the differences of others. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to agree with religions or beliefs or spirituality, but just being willing to accept people for who they are. And that's what it's all about. So again, happy International Education Week. And I'm very, very excited for what we have for the rest of the week. And y'all already know the deal. Go Rams.